system there are three elements: input sensors, and ECU is a microprocessor for programming according to the engine system, and output sensor. In input sensor, it has 7 connectors. In that 7 connectors, 4 of them is used for airflow meter, and airflow changes the resistance of a potentiometer. When the resistance of the potentiometer changes, the voltage drop across the potentiometer it also changes. And VC is a reference voltage because in the vehicle battery VB mainly changes with the load. Pressure sensor or vacuum sensor. In this vacuum sensor, this sensor measures the intake this intake air volume consists of piezoelectric silicon chip and an integrated circuit. Comparing the vacuum sensor and pressure intake, the resistance of the pressure sensor, when the resistance is changes in the pressure sensor, this causes change in signal voltage at pressure intake manifold on the circuit. Coming to the water temperature sensor, it mainly purpose of cooling purposes, and it monitors the engine coolant temperature by a thermistor with a negative temperature coefficient. Thermistor is a part of circuit. When the voltage drop across the thermistor is monitored by engine control unit. And as temperature increases, negative temperature coefficient of the voltage will decreases. Air temperature sensor, it mainly monitors the temperature of air entering intake by means of thermistor. It has similar characteristics as a water temperature sensor. This sensor is needed because the pressure and the density of air changes with the temperature. NOx sensor, this is a piezoelectric device that produces an output voltage under the vibration. The amplitude and the frequency of the mechanical vibration varies with the intensity of the knob. And in NOx sensor, the highest voltage output occurs around the mechanical vibration with a frequency of 7 kHz. And this variable frequency sensor is fed into engine control unit for purposing of the output. And oxygen sensor are used to provide air-fuel ratio feedback information to the engine control unit. Based on this information, we can adjust continuously air-fuel ratio according to our purpose. This method is used for cruise control, like for opening the door or closing. For that purpose, we can use. And when the loop is open, there is no information fed to engine control unit. And this oxygen sensor is located near the exhaust and operates at temperature 750 degrees Fahrenheit. One more oxygen sensor is a titania. It's a type of oxygen sensor, and this is a variable resistor. The value of the resistance changes as the oxygen concentration will changes at the exhaust release, and when the potentiometer of resistance changes, the signal voltage at the ECU also changes. It's one more type of sensor is this zirconium sensor. It's similar to the titanium oxygen sensor. In this case, the output voltage changes rapidly if air-fuel ratio is changed. Coming to the hybrid engine system, hybrid electrics includes both an combustion engine as well as electric motor. It's an electromechanical system, and it will convert from electrical energy into mechanical energy, and combustion engine is act as a fluid control system. And this hybrid is not zero emission vehicles, but in later models may cut this emission down by even more. Need of hybrids. Regenerative braking actually makes city driving like regenerative braking is a recycling mechanism. It will convert some kinetic energy into some other form, and it's more economical than the highway. And fuel efficiency is greatly increased. Emissions are greatly decreased because of hybrids, and dependency on fossil fuels can be reduced. And hybrids can be run on alternative fuel also. And this is the block diagram of hybrid engine.
Come to the hybrid engine, working of hybrid engine, how the hybrid engine works using the ECU that is high voltage ECU, battery ECU, and brake ECU. Brake ECU is used to break down the which will cut the supply or cut down the hydraulic connection between inside the engine of the hybrid engine. And so first in hybrid engine uh, we are using the means in place of fuel we are using the battery power or electric signal for say electric energy for the movement or the running of the engines. That is HV battery provides the electric energy to the engine. It will first whenever we are starting whenever we are starting our uh, from the on or off switch. Uh, First, it goes to the signal to high voltage ECU, that is electronic control unit inside the hybrid engine, and uh, uh, the battery will start it. It will use the using the CAN bus protocol. It will gives the signal to the battery of ECU that the battery is turned on, and given to the SMR switch, that is switch mode relay are placed over there for the means it acts like on off switch inside the or the engine control system. And one more auxiliary battery is provided to driven the converters like AC converter, DC to DC converter, and boost converter and inverter. First the HV battery gives the signals to the relays, and relays gives the electrical energy to the boost converter. If the boost converter converts the DC means it convert boost converter converts the uh, uh, low level voltage to the high voltage level, or in other ways we can say boost converter can converts the level of the power which we are getting from the battery, and it will boost up to the desired level which we want to run the electrical motor inside our engine. So it is in the form of DC power, and our motor inside the engine are the AC motor. So for that we are using the inverter, which will convert the DC power to the AC, and it will give to the motor generator 1 and motor generator 2 assemblies, which will power up whenever it will get some electrical signal. And at the same time, the using the CAN bus protocol, the ECM is gives the signal to the engine that the engine will start using that two motor generator assemblies. And and whenever we are going to means turn off our engine, the solid control ECU is given signal to the brake ECU, which tell us the mechanical engines inside the mechanical part of the engines inside the our hybrid engine, using the hydraulic part, which will break the electronic circuitry, means mechanical or electronic circuitry inside the engine or engines. That is the working of our hybrid engine. So next we go to the brief comparison of the hybrid and diesel petrol and engine and ECU. First we are comes to the environmental cost, which is environmental cost for the hybrid engine is more highly cost effective, and diesel and petrol engine are, as compared to hybrid engine, it's low cost effective. And as we know, the electronic unit is the combination, means inside when we are placing electronic control unit inside the engine, it is with we are using it in a hybrid engine or inside our normal engine for the means increase the efficiency of the engine, so it can be moderate using the electronic control unit. and we are talking about the performance of the engine. As we are talking about hybrid engine, its performance is high, and diesel and petrol engines performance is low, and same as the for ECU it's moderate. And engine dependency, in which parameter the engine will depend totally. In hybrid engine, it depends on the electric as a source of fuel. But as we go to the diesel and petrol engine, it depends on the fuel which we are using inside the our engine to power up. And as we comes to the electronic control unit, it depends on the fuel as well as electronic component or sensor we are using inside the our engine to means increase the efficiency of the engine. It is and material use and waste product. As we are going to go to the hybrid engine, the battery used in a car are additional waste product, because if our battery get means out of use, then we cannot reused again. So it is the waste product. But in the case of diesel and petrol engine, as compared to hybrid engine, it produces the less waste product, and it can be reused because it is mechanical circuitry inside the mechanical part inside the engine. Engines are used, and as ECU, less waste product is there, and we can use it we can use and reprogram, and we can implement other programs inside our electronic control unit. And fuel efficiency is high in the hybrid engine, but as we come to the diesel and petrol engine, fuel efficiency is low. And in diesel and petrol engine, if you are using the ECU, then our efficiency get increased to the high. And air pollutant, as we know, the hybrid engine, in a hybrid engine we are using the battery as a source of fuel, so it is less. And come to the diesel and petrol engine, we are using fuel, so it produces more air pollutant, 6 times more than the ECU and hybrid. So, and electronic control unit, which will control the flow of the fuel inside the engine. So we can say it is means low air pollutant, or some means as compared to hybrid engine it will high, but as compared to diesel and petrol engine it should be low. So where we are using hybrid engines and petrol and diesel engines and other mechanical engines, these are the applications for that. References which are used inside.
Okay, thank you.
I have two questions for you. An ECU is an electronic control unit. Like, can you tell me what kind of processors are used in it? Like,
It's engine control unit.
yeah, whatever. It's actually electronic control unit. And what kind of processors are used in it? Like, we have for peripherals we use PIC, and for real time we use ARM processors. Like, what kind of processors do you use? And also, can you tell about the evolution of ECU? A little bit. Like, what is the present generation ECU?
Engine control unit, it's a main part of the electronic control system for delivering the air fuel ratio to the engine.
The processor we are using inside the ECU is the microprocessor based or microcontroller. As we are developing the applications inside the ECU is the part, and which the user knows the programming and all this. It's the user compatible, which he wants to use, that is his wish to use the processor. It is maybe microcontroller, microprocessor. The next question is?
Can you tell me like evolution of ECU? Like we have 8 bits ECU, 16 bit, 32 bit, like this.
Yeah, it's depend on the processor, because whatever processor we are using inside the ECU is depend on that processor, because we can't specify the processor. It is this means this much amount of bits or this much amount of bits it's having. It's the properties of that processor which we are using.
Thank you.
In your slide number 20, you say hybrids are not zero emission vehicles, but may get these emissions down by even more. By even more than what?
It is like first we are talking about electrical engine, but if we go to the combustion engine, means using the combustion engine, we can also design the hybrid engine. So it is for a combustion engine. We are mentioning that the emission can be more. We can reduce or increase to the zero emission like that.
Ordinarily, when we write a sentence with more, it's more than something. Okay? Just to tell you that sentence is not quite precise. More than 2, than 3, than 4. I don't know exactly. Okay? If you don't know, try to change. In hybrids, there are electrical motors in add to the fuel engine. What type, what kind of electric motors?
We can use inside the hybrid engine as AC motors, which is
Yes,
It is-
but AC is synchronous, asynchronous,
yeah, it's
brushless.
a synchronous motor we are using inside the engine.
In what about their power? Because there are many kinds of motors, of electrical motors. Classically, in an hybrid car, which level of power for electric motors are used?
Actually,
Motor of 100 watts, of 1000 watts, of 10,000 watts.
it's depend on the means that is driving capacity, like.
Yes, but what I expect from you, it's if during your research, actually it exists some hybrid cars.
Yes, sir.
We have Toyota Prius, we have Peugeot 3008. So there are several models which exist, and maybe you will encounter in research information saying in a Toyota Prius we have two electric motors of that power.
Actually, we read, sir, but I don't.
You know? The ECU for engine is its main rule or its main objective is to determine the quantity of fuel
Fuel
to
injection
be
inside,
injected inside
the cylinder.
the cylinder. Could you say me approximatively the value of the quantity, in fact, of fuel which is sent in a cylinder at each time of the cycle, and what is the precision, in fact, of an ECU which drive an engine?
It's like it's depend on the power which we are required to to run the engine.
Yes, I
It
don't
will-
ask you an exact value. There is not one value, in fact. It depends effectively of the speed,
Yeah,
of the
some ratio is
of
given.
many things, but all these values are always in the same order.
It's depend on the fuel air fuel ratio, that is 14.5 is to 7.
Yes,
7.
but
We
an ECU send in the cylinder liters of fuel,
no, sir.
milliliters of fuel, picoliters of fuel.
Yeah, ma'am.
it's like some not liters, but it's a small quantity which we are getting inside the cylinder. That is in milli, 0.5 milli or something. Not exact, but somewhat.
Okay.
Sir, when you were talking about temperature sensors, you said something about negative temperature coefficient. So could you say something about what a negative temperature coefficient means? Previous. The first. Yeah, both.
In water temperature sensors, it's mainly purpose of cooling purpose inside the engine system.
No, he's asking what's a negative temperature coefficient.
What is it?
He wants explanation for that.
Why are you using negative temperature?
When the temperature increases, the voltage will decreases because of negative temperature.
Thermistor is of two types. It is one is negative temperature coefficient and positive temperature coefficient. In negative temperature coefficient is what happens is when the temperature goes up, voltage goes down. It is negative coefficient, and the positive coefficient temperature coefficient is that means in which the temperature goes down but voltage go up, that is the positive voltage.